My name is Jean Lambert and I'm the Green Party member of the European Parliament for London, and this is my 2020 vision, or at least as I see it today, that we've got a choice. We all know about the negative consequences of climate change and absolutely how cataclysmic that can be, but we do have a choice about how we work to combat that challenge, and that if we get it right, and of course we know time is running out, but if we do get it right, we're going to make the right changes. Change is inevitable, so we have to decide whether we want to manage it, whether we want to come through it with something positive, or whether we're just going to sit back and let it happen. Well, I'm a politician, and I don't think we should be sitting back to let it happen. I think that the world that we could be looking at in 2020 could be radically different. If we're really smart about resource efficiency, for example, we can do away with a lot of the problems about how we deal with waste, because we're not looking at waste, we're looking at how do we deal with the next stage in a particular commodity's life. I think we have to be very careful about how we price commodities, because the impact for the global south, for the world's poorer countries, if we don't get resource efficiency right, if we don't manage to do the technology transfers, is absolutely devastating. So this isn't just an issue for us in the rich industrialised countries. It's really a global problem, and we need to factor that into our solutions. But I'm also London's MEP. So London in 2020, I think, could be a very different city. It could be one where we're looking at walking and cycling as absolutely the norm, that the private car is very much of a rarity because we have very good public transport and a variety of public transport that people feel confident about using, whether they're young, whether they're elderly, male, female, whatever. So that's going to be important for us. I think we're also going to be looking at how we use water very differently in London of the future, because we're a dry region already. So resource efficiency in water and the way in which we manage that will be important. We'll have changed the design of our streets, looking much more at how they provide shade when it gets very hot, and how they actually provide shelter from the rain, because we know that one of the effects of climate change is more dramatic weather shifts, and also how they shelter us from the cold in winter. And this will have radical implications as well for the energy use within our buildings. And what's urgent at the moment is how we retrofit buildings in London, not just how we're going to design new build for the future. So that will be different. The diet will be different. We'll be relying much less on a meat-based diet. In fact, we'll possibly be back at the stage where sort of meat becomes a treat at the weekend, and hopefully it's a social occasion as well, because the social dimension of climate change is crucially important, as is the role of public services. If we don't get that social dimension right, and we try to do it all on the basis of individuals only, then, frankly, I'm trying to think of the polite word, we're in trouble. So that social dimension is crucial, public services are crucial, resource efficiency, and of course the whole transformation in the world of work, where we're all aware of the environmental impact of what we do, and we are all concerned to reduce the environmental impact as much as we can, and that we do it in the rich, industrialised countries, that we work with technology transfer, and we really look to how we can improve the living standards of so many of the world's poor, while we also try and maintain a decent standard of living for ourselves. Because tackling climate change isn't necessarily this view of sacrifice that we have. What it's about is thinking smart, doing things intelligently, and doing things for the benefit of all of us.